On behalf of the entire team at Arc and our partners WUNERF and Development Bank of Japan, I am pleased to welcome you all to the launch event for Arc Japan. In 1993, when the US Green Building Council was founded, there was no way to know if a building was truly green and no agreed upon guidelines to help those who wanted to build that way. Recognizing the need to address this, we created the LEED Green Building Program more than 20 years ago to measure and define what green building meant and to provide a roadmap for developing sustainable buildings. And today, green buildings have become a global trend. Green building has grown into a $1 trillion industry and one that is poised to continue to make waves in the coming years. As you all know well, in his famous January 2020 letter, Larry Fink announced that BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, would make investment decisions with environmental sustainability as a core goal and exit certain investments that presented a high sustainability-related risk. He also encouraged other companies to follow suit and rethink their carbon footprints. Fink wrote, "Awareness is rapidly changing, and I believe we are on the edge of a fundamental reshaping of finance. The evidence on climate risk is compelling investors to reassess core assumptions about modern finance." And then, in his recent January 2021 letter, he doubled down on this stance, asserting that the conventional wisdom back in March 2020 was that the pandemic would divert attention from climate change. But actually, the opposite occurred, and that the reallocation of capital happened at an even faster rate than even he anticipated. Over the course of January to November 2020, investors in mutual funds and ETFs invested $288 billion around the world in sustainable assets, a 96% increase over the whole of 2019. Fink summarized that this is the beginning of a long but rapidly accelerating transition, and that the global COVID-19 pandemic has presented such an existential crisis, such a stark reminder of our fragility, that it has driven us to confront the global threat of climate change more forcefully and to consider how, like the pandemic, it'll alter our lives. All around the world, we are seeing two trends play out on the global stage: green buildings and environmental social governance, ESG, are main trends that are rapidly gaining momentum. The government's push to decarbonize and the growing importance of ESG in Japan will only continue to advance sustainable development here in the coming years. And this is not unique to the Japanese market. The European Green Deal, the Task Force of Climate-Related Financial Disclosures, TCFD, the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board, SASB, and the Global Reporting Initiative, GRI, and CDP all show this is becoming mainstream everywhere. As you all know, responsible investment continued to gain popularity in Japan as an effective mechanism for addressing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And Japan faces unique circumstances: an aging population combined with more than 90% of your population living in urban centers, which means cities in Japan are grappling with how to intelligently downsize and create more sustainable, walkable, healthy, and compact cities. In the coming years, addressing UN SDG goal number 11, sustainable cities and communities will become paramount to the country's success. And green buildings are the cornerstone to community sustainability and resiliency, and a critical way to address those goals. One of the things that Fink mentioned in this year's letter was the opportunity of the transition to net zero. He discussed how this will transform the entire economy. That companies that do not quickly prepare themselves for this future will see their business and valuations suffer, as stakeholders lose confidence that they can adapt their business models to the new future. That a successful and equitable transition will require technological innovation, planning for the long term, and the leadership and coordination of governments working in partnership with the private sector. And that the end result will be a more resilient economy that benefits more people and that he has great optimism about the future of capitalism and the health of the economy because of this. I expect this sense of optimism for the future to play out nicely in Japan, and that we will see Japanese financial institutions and pension funds play an increasingly critical role in the global property market, both in the near and long term. You know more than anyone that $300 billion will be invested into property from Japan over the course of the next decade. Large real asset allocations from the Government Pension Investment Fund and the leadership of other entities and influential institutional investors such as the Financial Services Agency, the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, the Ministry of the Environment, the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government's new Sustainability Recovery Initiative, the Japan Exchange Group, and more will only make this ecosystem even stronger. And the global health pandemic will only accelerate what we are seeing. With COVID, stakeholders across sectors are increasingly turning their attention to the S side, including some of the following factors: workplace safety, employee health and well-being, job security, data privacy, customer engagement, supply chain management, community investment, corporate social responsibility, leadership, and innovation. The broad scale of COVID-19 related health and economic impacts has made ESG and many other factors more important than ever, with significant reputation risk for companies. This means everyone has to lead with transparency. And the Arc Performance Platform provides the tool to communicate this with stakeholders. Arc provides evidence-based verification to help all stakeholders communicate the progress they are making around sustainability to each other and track milestones. The Arc Performance Platform allows professionals overseeing the sustainability of buildings and places to collect data, manage and benchmark progress, measure impact, and improve performance. Arc empowers its users to understand and enhance their sustainability performance, improve occupant experience, and improve indoor environmental air quality, report on ESG performance, and pursue the world's leading green building certification program, LEED. Projects can use Arc to manage, track, and improve their sustainability performance over time, and to work toward LEED certification or verify LEED performance on an annual basis to keep their certification up to date. And Arc supports ESG compliance by helping portfolio managers understand, analyze, and improve the ESG performance of their assets, companies, and funds. By submitting data to the platform, portfolio managers can quickly identify and improve underperforming assets, or to identify assets that are performing well enough to meet LEED certification requirements. And finally, Arc can also be used to track sustainability key performance indicators, including energy consumption, greenhouse gas emissions, indoor environmental quality, waste management, and water consumption at a project level or across an entire portfolio. The creation of Arc Japan will help meet expected growing demand from institutional investors for ESG management tools, facilitate the continued growth of LEED in the market, and help us realize our vision of healthy people in healthy places equals a healthy economy, both inside and outside of Japan. Already, the Arc platform is being leveraged by a variety of customers in Japan, such as investment managers, insurance companies, REITs, department stores, retailers, asset managers, banks, cities, and much more. And we are excited to continue to partner with all of you, the leaders in the market, in the future. When USGBC created Arc, we sought to create a tool for leaders to demonstrate transparency through benchmarking. But the current geopolitical and macroeconomic issues the world is facing creates a compelling reason for us to do this faster, quicker, and smarter. Because the clock is ticking on climate change, and the pandemic has only stressed the need for us to leapfrog, we are faced with a sense of urgency, and we need to all act now as I believe climate change is the single largest existential threat of our lifetime. And this is why we decided to enter into a joint venture agreement with UNERV and Development Bank of Japan to establish Arc Japan. At USGBC, we know all too well that partnership is the new leadership. The success we have been able to realize with LEAD, nearly 106,000 registered and certified commercial LEAD projects, nearly 2 million registered and certified residential units, projects in 181 countries and territories, nearly 205,000 LEAD professionals implementing the rating system around the world, more than 220 registered and certified LEAD cities and communities, is thanks to the partnership and support of various political leaders, stakeholders, and organizations committed to advancing green building and sustainability. And today, Development Bank of Japan and UNERV are the right partners for us here in Japan. They are partners who believe in our mission and vision, who want to scale our operations, and who understand the local market intrinsically more than we ever will. And we are thrilled to partner with them to realize a future where healthy people in healthy places equals a healthy economy.